One of the most common things that I hear in my studio is people coming in with stiff and tight shoulders. And usually people will just go to where that symptom is or where that pain or discomfort is. In today's class, we're going to explore other parts of the body that are going to be influencing and impacting how those shoulders are feeling for you. We're going to be needing a bath towel, so just go and grab one of those if you don't already have it. And maybe just a little bit of explanation where your shoulders are meant to be sitting is on the back of the rib cage, a little bit sort of hugging the base of the ribs area. Shoulders are connected to neck, neck is connected to spine, spine is connected to the pelvis, and so on and so on. So let's start now taking your towel, and we're just going to make it into a long position. You can make it short, narrow, long and lean. Let's take a lay down onto your back body and just checking in that you've got everything away. So if you have a hair clip like I do, make sure it's out of the way for you. And your knees are bent, your feet are facing forwards in front. Be careful with taking your knees too wide. You do want to still focus on the alignment of the lower body. You're going to reach your arms up towards the ceiling so that the hands are just above you. Walk your hands in so that they're above your shoulder joints. There's no stretch on the towel, but I want you to feel like you're going to pull the towel apart and then rest that hold. And again, opening like you're stretching the towel out left to right and returning back. Now, as you're doing this movement, also check in with your wrists. You don't want your wrists to be flicked back. You want your knuckles kind of facing more upward toward the ceiling. And ideally what you will be feeling is some activity around the back of the shoulder blades. So maybe muscles that aren't working as well as you would like. One thing I forgot to mention, and that is if you're lying down and your head is tilted up, you may want to just find a cushion for the back of your neckline to make sure that your posture is great. We don't want to do all the shoulder work and then not actually get the benefit of enjoying what we've done. So from here, we're going to keep just that gentle touch onto the towel and reach the arms over behind you. I'd like you to keep the arms in a hover just off of the floor. So even if you have the range to go down and rest, keep them just off. And then raising the arms up, and we'll bring them down towards your thighs. And then you're repeating that, taking the arms up and over behind you. These movements are not meant to be done fast. The whole point of what we do with mindful movement is that we are mindful of what we're doing. We have focus through our body. And when you have focus, your body will remember the moves better and keep it in the system for longer. Let's go for one more time, taking the arms all the way back behind and then bringing the arms again towards the front. Now, each person is going to feel different in their range of movement and in their sort of feeling of comfort in that move. Hold the arms again above the shoulder height, and then from there you're going to rotate so that your towel is now in a long position going down the center of your body and then back to midline, and then go the other way and back. So as you're doing that, one palm is kind of face away, one palm facing in. And you'll just make it work. There's a spiraling happening in your upper arms. So one is spiraling out, one is spiraling inward. And again, doing your twisted version. We do that one more time to each side. This feels actually really lovely because what we're doing is moving our arm bone within the joint, which is one of the major joints, the glenohumeral. And then from here, we're going to send the arms over again like we did before. This time, you're going to bend your elbows, bring the towel just past your nose and chest, and then stretch the arms overhead again. And drawing the elbows out wide, bringing the towel just past the nose and chest, and sending it away. So again, that feeling of pulling the towel apart as you're bringing yourself into your elbow bend will make sure that you don't collapse the towel in. And this is also quite good for grip strength, just by the way. So if you've ever thought of, increasing that, this is a nice move to make. One more time, pull it down and then rest it over the back of your head. You're going to lift your head up and take the towel to the back of the skull. And then from here, what we're going to do is bring the elbow tips in the direction towards each other. Try and get them as close in as possible. If you can, you'll touch them and then open the elbows out again. And this is great because your stretch between the shoulder blades is the aim here. And if you're holding on, you may even feel a little bit of bicep strength happening in your upper arms. But really the intention on this one is all about that stretching of the shoulder blades as you bring your elbows together. And then one more time, we're going to bring it up, but this time just hold so that the elbows are facing more up to the ceiling. And then we're going to draw against the towel, aiming the head forward, aiming the elbows forward towards your thighs, and then lowering yourself back down towards the mat. And then again, feel the gentle pull on your hands, which pulls the head up. So there's not a lot of effort for you to do, but again, these are great stretches that just feel so darn good in your body. We'll go for 2 more times, remembering to keep very steady in your lower body, and your eyes, if they're open, they can track from the top of the ceiling across the wall and down between the legs. And that's really important because if you keep looking up, you're going to change the organization of your head position. All right, let's lay the towel out nice and long and then just resting here. Remember that towel should be right at the base of your skull bone. And then we're going to turn your head towards one side and you just go as far as you can with as much comfort as you can. And then turn it towards the other side. So important that we are not in your neck crease, but right on the top of the skull bone. And this touching technique or this textural feel that we have with the towel is just going to give new information to your brain so that it's got better organizational skills. And then back to the center. So from here, we're just going to remove the towel out of the way, just place it back behind you. And then staying here, just bring your feet closer if you need. We're going into a bridge. Like I said, everything is connected. So we roll through the spine, lifting yourself up. And here you want to feel very heavy through the back of the head, through the back of the shoulders, and then rolling your spine down to find the mat again. So we'll just do another 2 bridges like this, very simple, just remembering to incorporate all parts of your body and not just staying fixated on this one area. I think I mentioned it many times, this approach of looking at everything is so much more important than just focusing on the one area that may be shouting out or giving you difficulty in your body. And then resting yourself all the way back down to the mat surface. So from here, we're going to roll over onto your side to bring you up. And then we're going to change our position of our towel a little bit. And that is just to fold it up like a pillow. So a couple of folds, just giving you a nice cushioning for your head so that it becomes your pillow for your neck. So we rest you down, make sure the pillow edge is behind you, and then checking in that you've got heels and feet, hips and back of head in line with each other. Your arm is going to stretch out. We're going to do a modified book opening. We're going to pull the elbow back. I call this one bow and arrow. So aiming your elbow in the direction of the wall behind you. Try not to drop it to the ground, and then reach the arm forward, go sliding further over, and then pull the elbow back. And then bringing the arm forward. So again, you'll see how we're mobilizing through the shoulder on the rib cage. And one more time, reach it to the front and pull it towards the back. From here, we'll stay stacked tall. We're going to send the arm all the way over, circling until you get to about a, degree line over there. We're not doing a full circle, and then come back again. Now, sometimes I like to have my hand touching onto the floor. Not everyone can get their hand on the floor. So if you need to, just keep it in the air. It's going to be a little bit easier. And we'll go for 2 more times as we roll that chest back, looking toward the arm reaching out. And return. And then one more time, send the arm up and over. And then bringing it all the way back and through. I'm going to spin around to face the other way. So as you do that, just shift your towel position and then head lying down again. Check in always the alignment of the back of your body. Your underarm should be placed so that this shoulder blade is settled onto the rib cage. And then again, we start nice and tall. We pull the elbow back, looking in the direction of the elbow, and then bringing yourself forward, stretch further over. And pull back and stretch to the front. So you want this to feel free in your body. I don't want you to feel restriction, but I still do want that idea that I'm moving my upper body more than I'm rolling my entire body. From here, we send the arm up and circle over the top of your head. So aiming out at like a 25, 30 degree line and then coming all the way back. Of course, that would assume that 0 is above my head, and then opening out. Don't worry about the degree. Just go where you can feel that you can keep that arm in position in the shoulder joint, rolling the chest back, looking in the direction of your arm, and back to start. And then if I'm counting correctly, we've got one more to go. Reaching it back, and then bringing it to the front position. From here, we're going to pop up onto all fours. So in this shape, we're going to take the towel and just place it again into more of the that line that we had earlier, so just a folded long line position, and then just placing your hands onto the towel edge. We're going to allow the shoulders to just drop and sink down. So your chest sinks down, the shoulder blades will slip closer to each other behind you, and then you're going to press yourself in the direction of the ceiling, pushing away from the ground surface, and the shoulder blades will slide apart. So the shoulder blades are going to slide into each other and slide away from each other. This movement is done with straight arms the whole time. And the feeling of the towel under your hand, again, is just as a sensation, so a sensory input to the nervous system. If you've got wrist issues, of course, if you need to, you can be on your forearm position instead, doing the same sort of thing, just dropping and lifting. Your range might feel a little smaller than what I'm experiencing here. And then from here, we're going to go into a gentle thread the needle. So turn to look in the direction of your outside arm, bending into the elbow, and then bring yourself back up. And then the other side, going turn and lift. So when we go into the twist, we don't want to collapse into that shoulder. The whole point we did the shruggy shoulder move is to make sure that we can feel where the bones are supposed to be stacked, and that way everything else moves pretty darn well. All right, from here we're going to come and take a lie down position, but we need to have the towel behind our back. So as we lie down onto our front body, you're going to send your hands onto the towel, lengthening your arms long. So we begin with the nose just hovered off of the mat, the neck nice and long, and then we're beginning the head to lift, the front of the ribs to come up, and then you're going to reach the arms, and maybe you can lift your arms away from your bottom, and maybe you can't. You just do what you can do, and then you can return everything back to the mat. So feeling the front of the chest peeling easily off of the ground, lengthening the arms, raising the arms, and then lowering everything again. Important that you've got that sense of a straight wrist again, so we don't want to be flicking the wrists backwards or forwards, but really maybe even making your hand flat so that the towel can balance in your hand might be a different option. And then we'll go for another 2 more like that, lifting gently into the front of the chest. Now, extension work for a lot of people is one of the most troubling positions for shoulders because our spine is not in the right position, which makes our shoulders not in the right position. And then resting your body all the way down. So if you found that really challenging to do, let's set you up here. So we'll just do a second version. So hands are just going to be lengthened out like this onto your elbow position, and then feeling nice and long through the front of the chest. You're going to start to aim your eye gaze forward and out into the horizon, and then bringing the eye gaze back down towards your mat. So I'm keeping my hip bones on the mat, keeping my pubic bone on the mat, and then from there again, letting my eyes just roll out in front of me, looking towards the front, and then letting the head rest and turn down to look towards the mat. So yes, it's neck movement, but as your eyes start to go higher up to the horizon, you'll start to get a little bit of lift in the upper back. And this is a great place to be if you really do struggle with extension lying flat on your body, because there's no point in feeling breathless and unable to actually get any lift and any benefit from what we're doing. All right, from here we'll press back into a seated position. Now this next one is one of my favorite ones, but it does take a little bit of getting into shape. So I'm just going to put my hair up and out of the way again, just so that we can get a clear description. So again, we have the long position of the towel like so. You're going to bring your towel around the back of you like so. So you've got your towel at the back this way. Now I'm doing it wrong. Isn't that funny? Okay, flick your towel over your one shoulder. pull down on the free side on one side, and then the other free side goes to the back of you. So you should be in a little knotted position in your body. So we're looking like so. So from this shape, we just keep a hold. This happens to be my right hand holding here. And you're going to do a shoulder roll on the left, because that's my left. And again, sweep it around and back. If you're on the other side, just change the left and right names, but we're still doing the shoulder circle. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction, going forward and front. And then one more time. And then from here, we just keep this hold. I feel like I'm pulling forward with my one hand, pulling sideways with my other. Very gentle. Turn your head down towards the side. And then bring it all the way back up. And then we repeat that. Ear coming down towards shoulder and coming up. Now, if being on your knees like I am is not a place for you, then you can do this in high kneeling. You could also have done this in standing or sitting. It doesn't matter. It's just working out where can you be to get these lovely stretches. All right, so our next move, similar, we drop our ear to the shoulder, and then we're going to turn our head down towards the side, diagonal line, and then turn back to face the front. So we're just doing kind of like a nodding of our head down and a nodding of our head up. And then one more time. And then resting from there. All right, so let's pull our, there's my left hand, pull my left arm open to the side and then bringing it back. So this is your classic type of rotator cuff where we usually use a TheraBand. And then one more time. It just feels so good, this bracing around your shoulder area. And then rest that like that. So what you'll notice, I've just left the towel there. I just feel so dropped and wonderful on that side. So let's repeat on the other side. Take your towel over towards the opposite side. So this is my right side. And what I'm going to do is I've got to take, I always get mixed up with it. So we're going to flick it around to the right, to the left side and hold on with the right. Now, if your towel is overly thick, you might want to just tuck it in a little bit closer towards you so you feel like you've got that beautiful knot at the top of your shoulder. Do not underestimate how weird this can feel on the other side, because we have patterns of how easy it is to hold things in place. So let's go with the roll. We're doing 3 shoulder rolls one way, and then following that, 3 shoulder rolls in the opposite way. So the towel is giving you information about, are you moving your body or are you just moving through that shoulder area? From here, we're going to turn the ear down towards the shoulder and then bring it up. I find it very difficult, my first one, to keep my eyes open because it just wants to close while I really enjoy the sensation of the stretch. And then one more time, ear to shoulder, and then bringing it back. So again, we go to the side and we hold that shape, and then we turn the head down in the direction of the mat and then back to the side. And then again down and to the side. You do not need to know the muscle names of what we're stretching, but trust me, they're all related to everything and coming back. So again, that feeling of pulling one forward, one backward or sideways, and then open your arm and return. And what that's doing is just spiraling your shoulder and your upper arm backward, just to help that organized position of the shoulders on the back of your body. Gosh, I wish I knew how many times I said shoulders in this video today. And then resting from there. And then again, release the towel, let it just flop to the floor. And just have a moment with your new organized self. I feel a lot of things in my body right now that are highly beneficial. I hope you feel highly beneficial too, but more importantly, that you feel that you are taller, your posture is different, maybe even your breathing is different, and that your shoulders suddenly have a sense of understanding that they don't always have to feel stiff, tight, or all the way up north. If you enjoyed the content, remember, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the magical things that YouTube loves, and I look forward to seeing you again in another video sometime soon.